Let us prepare by singing the peace song. We'll do a slower version of the peace song together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. The moment now, with every step I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. There will be peace on earth, and it all begins with me.
Peace begins with me. Friends, if it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just become aware of your breath. Relax a little more deeply into your seat. And using that mental capacity, use your mental capacity to bring all of your attention and awareness inward, into that unlimited space in consciousness, that place where there is a divine spark of life, where there is an infinite wellspring of life and wisdom and love. It is in this place in consciousness where peace resides. Where we can recognize, where we can know with our faculty of wisdom, where we can understand the truth. That there are no opposites, there are merely individualized expressions of the one. And so swords and plowshares, lions and lambs, all unite at this place in consciousness. Individualized expressions of the one. And so truly we recognize, we understand that peace begins with me. Peace begins with you at this internal place in consciousness. For we can be the presence of peace amidst the conflict that shows up in the world. And so let's pause for a moment and go in community into the stillness, into the silence, to recognize the power of peace as us, so that we can more firmly stand in that truth here in Playground Planet Earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. In the stillness and in the silence, as a community of believers right now. The peace of my soul brings peace to the world. The peace of my soul brings peace to the world. Knowing that God is, and that I am is breathing you now. Bring forth an awareness that peace is your divine right, and that the peace of your soul brings peace to the world. And then when you are ready, bring your awareness back into this manifest world, this playground, planet Earth. But bring back with you the wisdom of that wellspring of love, that innate power in you to be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Right here, right now. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia. And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, let us sing this song, We are one in the Spirit. And I encourage you, of course, to sing along with me. Here we go. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in God. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in God. And we know that our unity has this day been restored. And we know we're divine by our love, by our love. Yes, we know that we're divine by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And together we'll spread the love of God in our land. And we know we're divine by our love, by our love. Yes, we know that we're divine by our love. We will work side by side. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. And we're finding our divinity by knowing God inside. And we know that we're divine by our love, by our love. Yes, we know that we're divine by our love. We are one with the Spirit. We are one with the earth. We are one with the Spirit. We are one with the earth. And we know that our unity will bring forth new birth. And we know we're divine by our love, by our love. Yes, we know that we're divine by our love. Here's our Rev Todd.
Thank you, Deidrey. And good morning again, friends. Have you ever sat around and wondered about the purpose of bread? Every day? I mean, for me, it's how I keep my beautiful figure. You know, we'll get to my point. I promise. We have a visitor. I'm so delighted you're with us today. Right, a loaf of bread. It's not meant to be admired, though. I do look at bread a lot and be like, "Wow, doesn't that look delicious?" And the purpose of bread is not to remain whole. All right. Bread fulfills its purpose only once it is broken, once it is shared. And while that is true of bread, what has come to me this week as I was sitting on my rock and listening is that isn't that maybe also true of us? We've spent the last 2 weeks acknowledging this thing that we know is true, right? People are hard. People are hard. Being with people can be challenging because people are hard. Sometimes we are those people that are hard. Because we all build armor around ourselves. Because we disappoint one another, right? We disappoint one another. We misunderstand one another, and then we become certain that we understand exactly what you meant by what you said, and they're like, no. Or we are going, no, that's not what we meant. We wound one another, often unintentionally. And so it leaves us with this final question in this series. People are hard. Why do we keep showing up? Why show up? And of course, the way my mind works when I'm sitting on that rock and listening, I started thinking about this Japanese art form. I know many of you are used to it. The kintsugi. I'm not know if I'm kintsugi. I don't know that I'm saying it right, but you know this art, right? It's where you drop the beautiful china plate and it breaks, and so you put it back together, and you don't hide the cracks, but you actually use gold to bring them out, and you're like, look here, this still has use. The part of the beauty of this piece now is that it was broken and now it has been repaired. And the repair is part of the beauty. And so this art form never pretends that the bowl wasn't broken, that the china wasn't broken, that this thing was not broke. It simply refuses to believe that brokenness is the end of the story. And it collided with my heart this week that, I think that so often this idea of being in a spiritual life is about becoming unbroken. But really, I think that it's about becoming repairable. That the spiritual life is about seeking repair. And as you know, I've really in these past couple of weeks really looked at not just the teachings or the parables, but the actual things that our way shower did that inform us on how we can live. And I'm reminded that I know that some people. Some people like, Todd talks about Jesus too much. And the same week I hear, Todd doesn't talk about Jesus enough. It's so funny to me. And so but these are the actions. This is not to deify Jesus. This is to learn how to be the spiritual truth of who we are. And I'm reminded that, our way shower was denied by Peter 3 times. I don't know him, right? I don't know him. And then after the crucifixion, and even after, a couple of appearances to his disciples, you know what they did? They went back to fishing. They went back to who they were before, and they were fishing. And Jesus, they don't realize that it is him. He's standing on the bank. And they're out there fishing, and they're catching nothing. He's like, hey, how's it going? What's up, guys? You catching anything? No. Hey, cast on the right side of the boat. And so they do. And there are so many fish that they can't lift the net back into the boat. And so Peter gets out of the boat and he hauls it into shore, and there are 153 fish. 153 big fish. And the scriptures name that 153, and if you spell out okay, I'm not a Hebrew scholar. I think it's El Elohim, that when you add up all of those Hebrew letters, it equals 153. So this is an indication that it is the Spirit of the Lord, my God, that has pulled, that has brought these fish forward, even though you've denied me 3 times. And Jesus, our way shower, doesn't shame anybody. He doesn't say, why have you gone back to doing what you did before when I gave you instructions on what you're supposed to do? He doesn't shame anybody. You know what he does? He starts a fire and he cooks breakfast and he breaks bread. There's no lecture. There's no shame. There is simply the presence. Come and eat. Come and break your fast. And so why is Jesus doing another meal, right? He had a meal before with these people, and now he's having another meal because tables repair what arguments cannot. Meals create belonging. And in this, Jesus asks Peter 3 times, do you love me? Do you love me? Yes, yes. But before he even asks, do you love me? He says, come eat. Let's be in repair. Let's repair this relationship. Because love is the greatest truth. I believe most of y'all know that Eric Butterworth is one of my favorite Unity writers. And so one of your invitations to read this week is an essay by Eric Butterworth. But Eric Butterworth reminds us that we often live in the shadows that we create, that we allow fear and resentment and old stories to block the light that is already present. Do you see where you do that in your life sometimes? But Butterworth tells us when we turn back toward the light, those shadows lose their power. They are now behind us, and we are looking in towards the truth, towards the presence of love. And then I turn to the writings of a Catholic, Henry Nouwen, who came up a couple of weeks ago in one of our Tuesday night discussions. And so I turned to his writings, and he takes it another step. He says that community is not made of perfect people. Can you believe that? I mean, that reflects that sixth, often untold principle of unity, right? God is, I am. I think, I pray, I do, I live, I love, and people are crazy, right? I don't think you heard that one, but that's another minister told me that, And so, community is not made up of perfect people. Community includes disappointment. It includes misunderstanding. It even includes betrayal. I don't know him. And we know that Jesus' first community included Judas. And I love this new understanding of forgiveness that came up in encountering Nouwen's writing this week. He insists that forgiveness allows others not to be God, and reminds us that we gather as people who are already beloved, not as people who must earn belonging. So a community isn't where perfect people gather. Community is where imperfect people keep choosing repair over retreat. So I was ordained in 2017 as an interfaith minister, and as a part of that ordination, I had to write my own vows. I had to write ordination vows. Everyone had their own vows. And these were mine. I vow to allow my heart and mind to continuously be transformed by love. I vow to seek right word and right action in all my endeavors. I vow to cultivate a life filled with creativity, compassion, and adventure. And at the last moment, I added, I vow to keep showing up. It was a last minute add-in. I vow to keep showing up. And at the time, I thought that was about making a promise to ministry. But now I recognize that making that vow is a promise about being human. About being fully human in my experience and still showing up when it's difficult. Because let me tell you what, there are days that I don't feel like showing up. Days when I think I'm going to be disappointed, when I'm afraid I'm going to be misunderstood, especially on days when I'm tired. And don't we all get tempted occasionally to isolate? And so that vow wasn't about pretending those days would not come. That vow is about deciding in advance, who do I want to be when those days do show up? When those days arrive, we keep showing up. Bread fulfills its purpose only when it is broken and shared. And I think today that maybe that's true of all of us. Not because God wants what is broken, but because God refuses to waste our brokenness. The cracks become places where compassion enters. Bob and Shannon Sima have a song, cracks are where the light get in. And the table becomes the place where repair begins. People are hard. We are hard sometimes. And the truth is that God keeps setting the table. Christ keeps making breakfast and saying, come and eat. Love constantly is telling us, come and eat. No shame, no lecture, just come. People are hard. Show up anyway. And if you want to do some homework, because it's not enough to hear this and then just leave it sitting on the shelf, right? Because that makes it a hobby. This is a spiritual practice. It's the thing that we do over and over again. So this week I want you to retempt the temptation to wait until you feel whole enough. Until you feel healed enough or certain enough. Just show up. Show up to your prayer time. Show up to the conversations, especially the conversations that maybe will be difficult, that maybe you're afraid of. Show up for the people that you love. Show up for the people that are hard to love. Show up for your community. Show up for yourself. The table of Christ has never been reserved for people who have it all together. It has always been prepared for people who are willing to receive grace and to become grace for one another. So that's your invitation this week. People are hard. And sometimes infuriating. And that's just armor. They're wounded just like us. So keep showing up. Yes? Yes. And so it is. Thanks for letting me share today, friends. I love you.
Thank you, Rev Todd, for your message. I'd never thought about bread that way, and I'm grateful. This is a song by Daniel Nahmod. It's called Last Song. If this is my last song, if this is my final day, If tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it is my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. Things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? And if so, I'm so glad I came. If these were my last words for all the earth to hear, if all I've ever been or all you've ever been is about to disappear, if these were our last words, there's nothing we need to say. We need to just serve. It's never been about talking anyway. Oh, there's so much hurt to hear. I know it's hard to understand. All the hope we can feel is that we're doing the best we can. Is your world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser of all the good that you can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? And if so, I'm so glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little taller because of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little of your pain? Then if so, I'm so glad I came. For that, I'm glad you came. If so, then I'm glad I came. And Rev Todd, I'm glad you came.